Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. In today's video, we'll be looking into the administrative part about the Pandyas. Okay, already the video on political aspect on Pandyas is done. The video will be linked down in the description box. Please do have a look at it. Now, see, when it comes to Pandyas, there's one small thing you have to understand. Alright, Pandyas are, okay, we will see them in three different categories, but all the administrative, socio-economic, art and architecture will all be clubbed and seen together. See, what do I mean by this? Simple things. Pandya, early Pandyas, or during your Sangam age Pandyas, alright. Then comes your medieval Pandyas, right? Then it is later Pandyas. What do I mean by this? See, during the period of Sangam age, we said Movender, that is three chiefs or three important power was ruling the southern part of India. One was Chola, Chera, Pandya, right? This is very much known in the Sangam literature, alright. Now this phase, when we say Sangam age or early Pandya, the Sangam literature speaks about this phase of Pandyas. Right? We also said that the three powers, Chola, Chera, Pandya, were always competing with each other, always fighting with each other for the influence or using each other's help to defeat the third one. Right? So scenarios are there like that. At one point of time, okay, due to Cholas, alright, due to Cholas, the Pandyas here after, okay, post your early Pandya phase, there is a decline in the Pandyas. Alright, then again after a particular instance of history, particular instance of time, again the Pandyas rise, okay, to a period of height, to a period of, okay, central authority back again. That period, okay, we call it as medieval Pandyas, right? Again the same story and the same saga will continue. Then we have later Pandyas. This is true for Cholas or Cheras or either of them. Alright, but here all of them are clubbed under one called as your Pandyas, right? So when we discuss the administration part, socio-economic part, art and architecture part, we will be discussing it collectively of all three people. Alright, this is just for your understanding and segregation. Clear? Now, your Pandyas had established themselves, okay, in the southern region, right? More specifically to the southeastern region, right? And their capital was Madurai. Alright, that much is pretty much clear. Now, according to Sangam age, the early Pandyas, the period of timeline is from 3 BCE to 3 CE. Alright, how do we know that early Pandyas were there or early Sangam age specifies about this Pandyas? That is through our sources, your megalith burial, right? The inscriptions of Tamil Brahmi, right? And then is your Sangam literature. These prove a point, okay, that early Pandyas existed at this point of time. Along with them existed their contemporaries. Alright, now we will see the administration which began from here and ended here. Alright, next. See, the first one, like we discussed, the first part, early Pandyas. I'll be talking about medieval Pandyas, but here the distinction is not that that's how early Pandyas were, this is how medieval Pandyas will be, the later part is, see, there is no continuous separation, okay, you cannot distinctively tell from this point to this point this is early Pandyas, okay, from this point to this point it's medieval Pandyas, you cannot break open, okay, you can see a continuity. Okay, rather than a discontinuity that should have been seen from this period to this period, you rather see a continuity. That is why we club it and call it as Pandyas. Alright. Now, after the decline of Cholas, that is, I'm talking about your medieval and your later Pandyas. Okay, again, it is the decline of Cholas, Pandyas will rise, again Pandyas will rise, some others will decline, the same circle will continue. Alright. The important king here is Sundara Pandyan. Alright. Now, under Sundara Pandyan, okay, the territorial extent of Pandyas was not just of Tamil Nadu or Ceylon, but also extended upwards to your Nellore region in Andhra Pradesh. Alright. Next. one thing is the kings and local chiefs. Alright, the kings and local chiefs, like we have spoken in the political part of the Pandyan video, the kings had a lot of, or a hierarchy of subordinate chiefs who were important for that local administration, but in turn paid their respect, in turn paid their allegiance to the central administration, that is Pandyan kings. Right, now the kings as well as subordinate chiefs, okay, now they create something called as Brahmin settlements called as Mangalam or Chaturvedi Mangalam. Right, now this place will have good amount of irrigation facilities, okay, a collection of towns, collection of people, okay, collection of occupation. Right, when the city springs open, multiple occupations will come there, the town will flourish, the city will flourish, in turn that will be, okay, helpful for the subordinate chief, which in turn will be helpful for the king. Right, so it is a holistic development. That is what you can see in the Pandyan time. Alright, next, these settlements, each of these settlements had royal names and the names of deities associated with it. See, for example, the royal officials in the administration were called in different names. One such thing, your prime minister was called as Uttara Mantiri. Alright, each royal officer had a different rank, name, title as well. Alright. Next, see, this is the extent of your Pandyan kingdom, okay, which kept on increasing, right, under each incoming Pandyan king, okay, the extent kept on increasing, okay. Next, this is a Pandyan coin, okay. Here I wanted to observe few things so that we'll have a discussion on this. Can you make out what this particular figure is? Any idea how it looks like? Okay. If you guessed it, well and good. If not, that's also fine. It is an elephant. Alright. How about this structure? Any idea what this structure would look like? Again, a temple. Alright. See, the coins. Right, the coins are the most important source of, okay, inscriptions, or the ones which give us details about how the kingdom flourished, or how the kingdom was prospering, or how the kingdom was even, okay, carrying forward, how the kingdom was operating. The one such source, see, this was a coin of Pandyan thing. We said we also use the word elephant, temple. It could be either symbolic or just, okay, a point of thing that it was important there. Right, how important? One thing is, in the trade, right, elephant trade was seen, okay, in the trade perspective, elephant trade was seen. When you say temple, okay, your entire Pandyans, okay, or Pandyan empire or Pandyan dynasty could be associated with the rich, luxurious, ornamental, decorative temple structures, okay. Both these things form the cornerstone of Pandyan dynasty. Alright, that is clearly visible with a simple coin, right? This coin will act as a source, right? Each point of time we have to determine something about a dynasty. We need a source. Earlier case we said something about Sangam literature. Yeah, we also spoke about megalith burials. Yeah, we also spoke about a Tamil Brahmi inscription. Yes, one such source similar to that is your coins, and this is your Pandyan coin. Alright. Next, see again the kings. Alright, each phase, right, we said early Pandyan, medieval Pandyan, later Pandyan. Each point of time, a particular king would take the kingdom towards the heights or lead it towards the end. Alright, now these particular kings, right, they operated with subordinate chiefs, okay, we discussed on that. They in turn carried on the administration with the locals, right. How did they carry on the administration with the locals? That is through your village assemblies, okay. They carried on the administration through the village assemblies. Okay, there are point. See, now you can tell locals are nothing but your common people. There could be a point of time where you can tell, so the locals or common people will have link or know only about the subordinate chiefs and not about the kings. No, that is not the case. See here, remember we spoke about temples, right? One thing we told is the cornerstone of your Pandya dynasty is your temple. Here the temples were, okay? The temples were used as a congregation zone where the common people could see their kings. Okay, important events, celebrations, okay, all those things would take place in temples. These temples were also a zone of learning activity. Okay, it was a creative hub. All this place, okay, where people had connectivity with each other. One thing with respect to temple, kings, chiefs, locals, common people, everything was connectivity. This was the breeding ground. Connectivity that created a sense of unity among people. Alright, that is why temple structures were, even though they are religious structures, they had a secular element to it. Okay, that is one unique and signifying feature about the temples of early period or early Pandyan period or your medieval Pandyan period, or the whole thing we said your Pandyans deal around the temples, right? Why? The temples were not just religious structures but had an important role to play in the society, in the administration and in the economic sphere. This is how it is. Alright, let's move on. Now, look at this. This is a copper inscription. Alright, this is a copper inscription which is written in both Tamil and Sanskrit language. Okay, indicating what? That at that point of time these two languages were playing a huge role, and especially when it comes to Tamil, right? This Tamil language, okay, saw rich development during a Sangam period or during a Pandyan period. That applies the same for during a Cholas too. Alright, Tamil language had predominant influence, okay, in a linguistic basic in this dynasty. Alright, so this Velvikudi inscription is nothing but a copper inscription which states that, okay, it is nothing but the record. I'll tell you why this inscription is something we're talking about. Inscriptions, for example, if you have visited some old temples, okay, you would have seen some writings like this in some language which you cannot make out, or maybe there would be some particular words or letters you could make out, right? But after that it's not either legible or you can't make out what the words are, but you can see, right? These inscriptions, how are they important with respect to an important dynasty or, okay, mapping out the course in history? One thing is these inscriptions provide, for example, this Velvikudi inscription speaks about the fact that, okay, see, it is just a record, okay, of renewal of grant of Velvikudi village to the Brahmin by a Pandya king. This proves that at this particular point of time there was a Pandyan king, or Pandyans had the area under their influence, okay, and this also meant that, okay, they were liberal towards the Brahmanical system, okay, which could mean that they were following the Varna system. Brahmanical system, what is it? Your Varna system, what are the four Varnas? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, right? So there was adherence to the Varna system. This inscription is simple grant, or it's simple. For example, it's like considered like a house lease agreement, okay, or considered like a deed property or sale deed property, or considered like more of a agreement between two people. This is more of that, between a king and the fact that he is giving this particular village to a particular Brahmin. Yes, but that is where we use that information to, okay, chart out and map out our history. Like we spoke for the coin, right? This copper inscription also serves as a source which provides us how the administration went ahead. How was it carried on? Alright, how was it carried on? The kings, subordinate chiefs, the Brahmins, okay, given the village, okay, where they also provided irrigational facilities. They provided the role, okay, wherein it could flourish. If the towns flourished, chiefs flourished, king flourished. If king flourished, empire flourished. Understanding? Next. Now, one of the sources, okay, one of the foreign sources was Megasthenes was the foreign ambassador during the period of Chandragupta Maurya. His book was Indica, in which he has mentioned that in Pandyas there was also a female queen, where we see a matriarchal influence, okay, by the name Pandya, okay, or Another thing or another name we could use for that is Alli Arasi. Okay, the female queen associated with Pandyan queen, that is, she was the ruler of the Pandyan kingdom. Alright, it is seen as a inscription, it is seen as a source of history. Alright, next. Alright, the Alli Arasi, the female queen we spoke about. See now how the land was given. Right, if the land was given to a Brahmin, it was called as Sala Bogam. Alright, now if the same land was given to ironsmith, it was called different name. If the land was given to a carpenter, it was called with a different name. If the land was again given to a Brahmin for the sake of education, okay, it was given for a different name. Okay, like we initially spoke about, the kings and chiefs give the land to the Brahmins, or here ironsmiths or carpenters, or for the sake of education. Okay, they were called with different names. Sometimes the names would be associated with a deity's name. Alright, next let's have an overview of the Pandyan administration. Right, the territory of Pandyas is known as Pandya Mandalam or Ten Mandalam or Pandya Nadu. Okay, Pandya Nadu. Break it open. Pandyas, Nadu means country. Land of Pandyas or country of Pandyans. Alright. Now, the capital of Pandyans were Madurai, pretty much established. Pandya Mandalam or Pandya Nadu was divided into many Valanadus, okay, which were further subdivided into Nadus or Kuram. Basically nothing but a grouping of places. Okay, all this was called Pandya Nadu means there will be again further divisions among this. Why? Easier decentralization, or technically not decentralization of power but decentralization of regions, makes it easier to administer. That's what we see here when we said hierarchy of subordinate chiefs. This is what we meant. Alright, kings and local chiefs established Brahmin settlements, known as Mangalam or Chaturvedi Mangalam. We have discussed this earlier. Right? The settlements were given royal name as well as deity names, like we discussed. Okay. Different titles to royal officials. Yes, Uttara Mantri for Prime Minister. Right? Different names were given to different post titles, everything. Now that's it for the video on administration of the Pandyas. If you do like our video, subscribe to our channel, give a thumbs up and share it along with your friends. Thank you.